Imagine living your life after 50 and feeling energized and excited about your future. Welcome to the Women in the Middle podcast, the podcast for women who are ready to figure out what they want and create the life they deserve. Here's your host and master certified life coach, Susie Rosenstein.
Hey there, welcome back to the podcast, Women in the Middle. I'm your host, Susie Rosenstein, your master certified coach and midlife mentor. And once again, I'm so glad to be here with you for this week's episode, which is all about one woman's 50th birthday. She ticked off all the boxes for an amazing 50th birthday celebration, but you know how it goes. Sometimes things get in the way. Sometimes those things are things you couldn't even imagine just a few short months ago. Actually, that's how I found out things were a bit upside down with this special birthday celebration. I saw her post on Facebook. She was stumped, disappointed, and reaching out for help. She was asking for ideas from her friends. My guest today is Diane Shephard. Diane is someone who had big plans for her 50th birthday, but with COVID-19, she had to make a big, giant detour regarding those plans, and I mean big. As you can imagine, her creative and extended celebration for her milestone was squashed. Everything had to be canceled. And what I love about Diane's story is that she didn't stop there. Sure, she was disappointed and a bit at a loss for how to acknowledge this important milestone, but she got busy. That's why I'm excited for you to meet her. We talk a lot about transitions and pivots around here on the Women in the Middle. And that's what Diane had to do regarding her birthday. And she did it with love and grace and an eye on the prize. She wanted to celebrate, and you'll hear all about how she figured out an exciting and meaningful plan. And the other reason I wanted you to meet Diane is because she's really interesting. Life lessons in her 40s were plentiful. Family, a lot of weight loss, empty nest, young adult children who make choices that are difficult for you, and of course, her successful essential oils business. You're going to love this interview, and I know you'll find Diane's story inspiring, and you will want to celebrate right along with her. Let's dive in. Enjoy. Hi, Diane. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Women in the Middle podcast.
Thank you, Susie. I am so excited to be here.
Oh my gosh. So I follow Diane on Facebook, and she made a post recently about some angst about her 50th birthday, and my eyes lit up. I'm like, ooh, somebody who's real and we can get in there and talk about it. So I asked Diane if she wouldn't mind talking about the experience that she's having with her upcoming 50th birthday, which is really going to be fun for us to talk about. But before we go there, Diane, can you tell us a little bit about what's been going on for the last 10 years for you, all in your 40s? What's been going on?
You know, I've always been an entrepreneur. And so in the last 10 years, my 40s, I hit a really, a good high in my entrepreneurship, I guess you could say. My business is doing really, really well. I was on top of it. We were making more money than we'd ever done before. And then there was nothing wrong with the business. Everything seemed to be going well, but I hit a point, I would say probably 46, 47, where I was kind of tired of it all. And I'm like, I like what I'm doing, but I need something a little bit more. And I wasn't quite sure what that was. And I kind of just went through, like I've heard many people do in their 40s, there's something I need more out there, and I was grasping. So I would say my 40s was kind of like, yes, I'm on top of it, but there's got to be something a little bit more out there for me. And so I would say my 40s was looking for what it was I really wanted to do in my life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right. It is really common. I remember specifically at my 40th birthday, I was thinking, I'm pretty content. Like I hosted a nice party, and it was at this, we were shooting pool. It was back then, it was a smoke-free pool hall, which was unusual. I guess it would be 17 years ago. And I was so excited. I had all my favorite people were there. And I remember really thinking, I am content. I have everything that I want. My job is good. My family's good. Everything's good. And then just a few short years later, for me, it was around 45, I hit what I like to call a funk. And I think that's probably what happened to you, where it's not like you're incapable and like you were seriously on a high, everything was going so well. And me too, everything was fine. But I was off. I just felt off. And like you, I was like, there's got to be more. This isn't enough anymore. So you were searching. What do you think you were searching for? Did you know?
I wanted something that was a little bit more fulfilling. I think that I had reached a point in my business where we had enough money. I'd already fulfilled the goals that I wanted to fulfill. We got the new house, we've been traveling, and I'm like, it's not about money anymore. Like, we're now debt free. So what else do I want in my life? And that's, I think, the questions that came really were what spurred me on to really want to do something more. And also at the point where I was with my children, like when you mentioned at 40, I felt the same way. At 40, my children were still young. I still had a little bit more control over them, I guess. Is that a good word to say? But as I got into my 46, 47, 48, I'm like, wait a minute here. My kids are now making their own choices, and they're not really choices I thought they would make. And so all of that kind of came to a fruition of, is this really the way that I was going to live my life and that I planned? And what do I want more out of this?
Yeah, it's very common. And the other thing that happens in that 10, 15-year chunk of time is that you're so busy building and raising and focusing on everybody else. Like, you were building that career that got successful, and you were paying down debt, and then really being goal-oriented about doing that. And then your kids, like, raising them, not so easy sometimes, takes up a lot of time and energy. So there's no bandwidth left to actually think about yourself and what you want.
Oh my gosh, so very true. And when kids reach the age where they leave home, I don't know, there's something about that. And you thinking, wait a minute, I'm not a mom anymore. So what is my job?
It's confusing.
Yeah, so confusing.
I remember having a little, like, it wasn't a technical panic attack, but I remember feeling panicky the night before my oldest was going to university. And I remember just feeling almost like in a frenzy of, what do I need to do? What do I need to tell him? What did I miss? Is he going to be okay? Like, it was just a swirling mess of thoughts. And it's jarring. It's jarring.
Totally.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking at turning 50 and putting together this party in a few days, I really am grateful for the experiences that I went through in my 40s, because I'm a different person today. And the experience with my daughter, the experience of my business, all of that made me who I am today. And I kind of like who I am at this point. I'm excited to see where the next, however long I'm going to live, turn out to be. And it all was because of what I learned in my 40s and the hard things I went through with my children, with my business. And yeah, I could definitely say right now, at this point, turning 50, I needed all those experiences. They were so important for me to become who I am today. Weren't fun, but I'll take them. I don't want to swap with anybody else.
Well, thank you for being so authentic about that. That is really important insight. Okay, so you mentioned a party, but let's back up a little bit, because the reason I reached out to you on Facebook was because of a question that you posted. You basically said, okay, I had these cool ideas for my 50th, and everything with COVID, everything just went up in smoke. What ideas do you have? So let's back it up a little bit farther than that. When did you start thinking about your upcoming 50th birthday, and kind of you decided to focus on it a bit? So tell me what that experience was like back then.
Well, when I was having my 49th birthday party, and by the way, I'm not a person who really celebrates birthdays very big. Like, I'm just like, yay, I'm turning this age or this age. But because of what I'd been through and all that we talked about, I realized, you know what, 50's actually kind of cool. Maybe I should do something for my 50th. And I'd lost a good amount of weight, and I thought, you know what, I think I want to hike the Grand Canyon. Where you hike into the canyon to Havasupai Falls. That was like an awesome thing. Well, with COVID, that wasn't going to happen. I also wanted to go see my daughter, who is living in Canada. And there was a 5K run that we had planned together, so I'd get to spend time with her. That was canceled. We also had this huge family reunion planned right around my birthday. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so fun. I'll be with all of my brothers and sisters. By the way, I have 8 sisters, 1 brother, tons of nieces and nephews, and I love being around them. So I thought that would be great for my birthday. That was canceled. And it came down to the point of, well, what are you going to do for your birthday? Because you can't go anywhere without wearing a mask. And I'd be honest with you, I kind of sat in my chair, kind of whined for a good 3 to 4 hours about this. Totally sucks. I don't even want to turn 50 anymore. And that's where I was.
And you know what? I mean, I'm in Canada. The borders are closed.
I know.
Like, wow. Talk about something that's kind of, you can't even ignore that. The borders are closed.
Yeah. And who would have thought at 49, when I was thinking about my, party at 50, that the borders would be closed? Like, that was not part of my plan. Nope.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what? I haven't seen my mom I haven't seen in over a year now. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? Like, it really is a crazy time. But one point that you just surfed right over, you said you lost a lot of weight. So let's just talk about that for a second. How much did you lose?
So I've lost a total of about 80 pounds altogether.
Wow.
I still have about 20 more to go, but 80 so far.
Wow. And so you realized that that was yet another reason to celebrate.
Absolutely. Because here's the thing that we didn't really talk about, but I have a course that's called You, Your Mood, and Food, an emotional eating course that kind of goes through the journey of what I went through to lose that weight, because it wasn't typical, no dieting. It was more about working on my emotions, my brain, my mind, and all of that. And so I thought, I'm going to put this course out there. And that was a part of my goal of turning 50. Well,
wow.
I was working on it. And then when COVID hit, should I say, I hit the COVID-15 as they call it, and I gained 15 pounds. And how in the world am I going to put an emotional eating course out there after gaining 15 pounds? So add that into the mix of turning 50. And it was all kind of this conglomerated mess in my head of what am I going to do, feeling the way that I feel right now and knowing that everything's closed. And gosh, I really wanted to party, and we're the opposite.
Wow. And didn't you also say you were planning to travel?
Yes, I was. I forgot that part. So many things. We had actually planned to go to New Zealand for a month this summer. I would be in New Zealand right now. So I have a sister who's living there right now, and she invited us to come. And there was a lady there who said we could stay in her house. We bought the tickets. We had everything prepared. And I was going to be coming back the day before my birthday and then go to this family reunion. That was all canceled.
Oh my gosh. So when I think about what you've been through in your 40s, so it started with build. You were rising, you were paying off debt, you were having all these wins, your business was on a high, and then there was a bit of confusion, and then things started to pick up again closer to your 50th birthday when you were 49. You lost the weight, you were excited about the course, and then COVID, and then nothing. Yes. You went from like all of these amazing plans to an empty calendar.
Absolutely. That's so funny you say empty calendar, because I was actually looking at my calendar on my birthday, the 22nd, going, well, there's nothing on there planned. Maybe I should just skip my birthday this year and we'll just stay 49 another year. That sounds awesome.
When you thought about skipping it, like I know you're saying it, kind of in a funny way, but I'm sure it did actually cross your mind for a second. It sounds like that wasn't acceptable. Even though things are crazy right now, skipping it didn't sound acceptable, or you wouldn't have posted on Facebook.
Absolutely. Because I came to the point of, well, Diane, you're going to turn 50 and there is nothing in this world that is going to help this situation that you're in right now. It's going to stay there that way. So what are you going to do to make this better? And I thought, you know what? I have a lot of cool friends that might have some great ideas. So I thought, instead of just going into my own brain, let's ask the world and see what they come up with. And it was amazing. You saw on there, Susie, there was so many people who came and like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And that really helped me come up with ideas of what I wanted to do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's the plan? What ideas really helped you create a plan?
So here's what I did. I actually wrote down on a piece of paper all the things that I could do that were still open, that were still available, and I made a list of what I wanted to do according to that list. So I found out that Reflexology is still open. I know, you just have to wear a mask when you go. I'm like, oh, I'm so going. And I didn't want to go by myself. So I'm bringing my husband and my 2 children who are still left at home with me to get a full, it's like a family reflexology session. So that's one
interesting. Have you done that before?
I had done that before, but I usually go by myself, and it had been closed for a while. So when I found out that it was open, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it by myself. That didn't seem right to just go by myself. We're also going shopping. I love to go shopping. So one of the stores that I love to shop at is open, and I'm taking my whole family. So we're making this a family event. My husband typically does not like to go shopping for clothes.
I was just going to say.
No, he'd rather sit in the car. Seriously, that's more fun to him than
you
us.
might get stuck doing something weird on his birthday if you're making him go shopping.
But what's funny is that I have a photo shoot coming up in the next week or so, and they're going to include my family in it. And all of us, we've been stuck home forever wearing the same clothes. I'm like, we don't look so good. And, we've all gained a little bit of weight. And I'm like, we need some clothes that actually fit and match and will make us look a little presentable on these pictures. So we're all going to the store, and I told them I will provide them all new outfits. So we're all going to get new outfits, going to go to Reflexology. And then we're going to come home and play one of our favorite board games. And then I'm going to.
Which is the board game that you love?
So, well, there's several of them. I haven't picked out which one, but one of them that we really, really like is called Killer Bunnies. Ooh. I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
I haven't, but my kids love it. Fun.
Yeah, so fun. Anyways, that's one of the games that we'll probably like. My little 10-year-old loves that one the most, so maybe we'll give in and let him play that. And then we're going to watch a movie. I haven't decided yet, but we have, a fun little place to watch movies at home while eating tacos. Because my tacos, honestly, those are my favorite food in the whole world. And then we're going to have pumpkin pie, because that is my favorite dessert. Even though it's not Thanksgiving, I'm going to make a homemade pumpkin pie with whipped cream. And that will be my full birthday. And I think I will be very content at the end of the day doing all the things that I loved with my family.
Oh my God, I love those ideas. I love pumpkin pie with tacos. Is it hard tacos or soft tacos?
I like all kinds, but I specifically like them from this restaurant that serves hard tacos.
Uh-huh.
So mm-hmm.
Very nice. Oh my God, you put so much thought into that. And I can just see on your face, it's like you're lighter now. You're excited about it. You have a plan. Everything reflects what you want. It sounds like you have family buy-in, which is so funny when I'm thinking about your husband shopping. And I know what you mean, really being stuck at home alone. Yesterday, one of my kids, I have 3 sons. One of them shaved their beard. They all have beards. One of them shaved. He waited for me, clean. He waited for me to notice. And now it was the most exciting thing that's happened around here in a long time. He doesn't have beard. Everybody's staring at him. We're fascinated. He looks like he needs a bit of a tan because the beard was so thick. He really let it go during this period of time. And it was so funny. That was the highlight of months, was he shaved his beard.
It's so funny you mention that, because my husband is growing a beard. He doesn't normally grow a beard. And I told him for my birthday, that goes away.
Oh,
I don't like kissing him with the beard. It's just way too scratchy. So for my birthday, I want the beard gone. So that was also a part of my birthday gift.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So what happened with the course that you were developing? What did you decide to do about that?
So you know what? I'm glad you asked that, because that was really a hard thing for me to overcome, thinking, how can I put a course out there when I've gained 15 pounds? Obviously I emotionally ate during this thing, and I can't do that. But here's the thing. I realized that me as a live, real person who makes mistakes, is imperfect, is probably what people want to learn from. They don't want this bikini figure who never makes any mistakes, always eat the right foods, exercises every day. I think they'd rather learn from a real person. And so I decided to put myself out there. And the way that I'm marketing it is that I'm an imperfect person who's just like you. Come learn with me together. And we're all going to jump in and figure out this emotional eating thing all together as a group. And to me, my gosh, that makes my heart so happy to think of this group of women all together trying to figure out this emotional eating journey. And I did lose 80 pounds. I've now gained 15, but boy, I have the knowledge and I have the information to teach them. And what better way to do it than we all do it together than me just telling them what to do? We'll do it all at once. And that totally excites me.
So you're still celebrating your birthday with your original plan to launch the course in honor of your accomplishments and just everything you've been able to do in your life. It's amazing. It's a celebration.
Thank you. And you know what? It had to just be me switching my brain over to realize, Diane, you have a fabulous life, and to be grateful for the things that I have and not worry about all the stuff in the world that's just not going the way I wanted it to be, because really, who cares? I have my family, I have my health. We're all good, and I can still celebrate and have a ton of fun. And that's exactly what I plan on doing.
Wow. I love it. All right. Now, one thing we didn't talk about yet, and I can't not ask you because you are an expert in this area. You are an essential oils guru. It is your business. You've been very successful at it. And I have a special request, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it is my birthday just a few days after your birthday. And I would love for you to make a recommendation for me in honor of celebration. What kind of an oil do you think would reflect that for me? And maybe you'll want to use it too, because we're both celebrating. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a great question. One of my favorite oils is called bergamot, Bergamot. And it is the oil of self-love. Mm-hmm. And I think that women at our age kind of go through this feeling of, who am I? Do I like myself? And if we can just put that oil on, breathe it in, and really grasp who we are as a person deep down inside, that oil is going to help you. Oh my gosh, you'll love it. I'll send you a diffuser and that oil together.
Oh, how exciting. You're a doll. I really wanted to ask you that. I didn't think about it before our interview, but as we were talking, I just thought, wow, I have an actual expert on the phone right now. Not on the phone, on Zoom, whatever it is, on the microphone, on the app. And what an opportunity to ask you that question in honor of celebration, in honor of our birthdays, in honor of realizing that aging really is something to celebrate. Like, I think about that all the time. I have far outlived both of my parents, my birth parents. They died young. And I think about it all the time. Like, I am way older than they were ever able to be. And I think it's a total cause for celebration. Absolutely. So, Diane, thank you so much. I have one more question for you. What advice would you give other women our age who are starting to think about their 50th birthday? Actually, not my age, your age, because I'm going to be 57. What other advice would you give about how to approach the birthday and make it exactly what you want it to be?
Such a good question, because I wallowed in this for so long. And it came to the point of me just looking at everything that is working in my life. Mm-hmm. And so when I told you I made that list, it was a list of, okay, Diane, you have this fabulous house. You have great kids. You have a supportive husband. You have a very good business that supports you while you're here. Like, why in the world am I wallowing over my 50th birthday? So just look at all the things that are going right in your life. Make a list of that and celebrate those things, and find a way to be able to do something with your 50th birthday party that would be around those things you're grateful for.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. So how can people get in touch with you about this course? Because I know this is exciting, and I know a couple of the listeners are definitely going to want to follow up.
Well, I have a website called DianeShephard.com. There will be links in there that you can go to. You can also go to my Facebook page, which is called You, Your Mood and Food Emotional Eating Group. Or you can just go to Diane Shephard on Facebook as well. All of it will lead to that.
Fantastic. I'm going to put all of your contact information in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I want to wish you the warmest, happiest, healthiest birthday. And just enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. It definitely is a cause for celebration. Thank you so much and happy birthday.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, Susie. Happy birthday to you in a few days, too.
Thank you. Okay, take care.
Thanks. Bye.
There you go, my friend. Another amazing woman in the middle learning so many important things on her personal journey to 50. Diane had some huge success in her life, and like all of us, plenty of bumps along the way, too. She also had some really important insights about life and applied what she knows to really be fulfilled, especially on her 50th birthday. Her advice for how to celebrate your 50th is great. Take a look at what's working in your life. What's going right? Plan your celebration around gratitude. Bam! How great is that? And you got an awesome essential oils tip to boot. Perfect! Now go have fun yourself and plan something awesome. All right, my focus as a midlife coach is to help you waste less time spinning and feeling stuck. It's time to get excited about your life again. Being the queen of your brain domain is the best way to be. Check out the show notes with more information and links at SusieRosenstein.com. Download my free ebook, 9 Secrets to Get Unstuck in Your 50s at SusieRosenstein.com/9 secrets. Want to connect more with me in the future? Join the free Women in the Middle community Facebook group. That's where we continue the podcast conversation. Head over to facebook.com/groups/Women in the Middle community. And if you're ready to finally put yourself first, you can become a first lady. Join my new midlife membership, the Finally First Club. This is an upbeat virtual community for midlife women just like you who want to stop feeling stuck and confused and finally start making the changes that you want in your next chapter. The clarity, courage, and connection that you are looking for is only one click away. Join us there now. We are waiting for you. Head over to www.IamFinallyFirst.com. Let's do this, ladies. It's time for you to put yourself first, one thought and one birthday at a time. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week.